Allons-y gaiement. Allons-y gaiement. Ça va, Adri, mais pause. Sérieux, sois cool, quoi.
Ah, vas-y, je peux faire ça si tu veux.
Vous êtes 1200, les amis. Merci beaucoup.
Ah, là, on doit être à peu près en même temps.
On a eu du Shinji Mikami, effectivement. Tango devrait révéler apparemment quelque chose ce soir. Hein, donc,
Ouais.
Shinji Mikami, ce n'est pas complètement incohérent. Je vais monter un petit peu le son.
Ah, ouais. Ouais, donc on n'aura pas 4 jeux.
C'est les Avengers en fait. Les développeurs vous présentent. Ah d'accord, c'est pour ça que tu dis ça, mais même en ayant mis pause, t'es en avance.
Ah, moi je recule encore alors.
Bon, on a 5 grands jeux en tout cas. Et effectivement, on a le jeu de tango. C'est la petite surprise. On commence par Mojang ou Mojang, ça dépend de votre prononciation. Ça a l'air d'être cool de bosser là-bas quand même.
I'm Dennis Reese, executive producer of Minecraft Legends. And today, we'd like to give you an insider's look at how we're building the PvP multiplayer experience for the game. Minecraft Legends is a new action strategy game set in a lush, dynamic world. It introduces epic storytelling, and you can form alliances with new and familiar Minecraft mobs to stop the invading piglins.
Minecraft Legends will let you play the story-driven campaign as an online co-op experience together with your friends. And it will also feature a PvP gameplay mode where 2 teams with up to 4 players each.
J'ai vraiment l'impression d'avoir foiré ma vie parce que j'ai jamais accroché à Minecraft et j'ai vraiment l'impression de rater un peu.
Moi non plus, je suis comme toi.
C'est trop...
In order to create the best possible experience, we've partnered with Blackbird Interactive to develop the game.
Ah, Blackbird,
And it's been wonderful to see their commitment and focus on the Minecraft universe.
It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Here at Blackbird Interactive, we have a talented team of developers who are using our background in strategy games to bring a new and exciting experience to the Minecraft universe.
We're super excited to share more details about PvP gameplay.
There are some really cool features that make PvP unique.
First off, players share their army and resources with their team. This means that individual players aren't able to win on their own. They must cooperate to be successful.
Je vais vous poser un sondage, est-ce que vous jouez à Minecraft? Est-ce que vous aimez Minecraft? Dans le chat, n'hésitez pas à les voir.
Together because they naturally form roles at the beginning of the game, and as soon as we start, you're off collecting, I start building. We have our favorite roles, but we change them up.
Also, the world in PvP is procedurally generated, just like it is in campaign. This means that each PvP session is different than the last.
That it's different every time you play, depending on how the map is generated, where the valleys are, the mountains are, where the secrets are, you know, where the towers are.
In Minecraft Legends, the piglins are an ever-present threat, and this includes PvP.
The piglins are on their own side. They're trying to kill both of you at the same time.
So the opposing team is not the only
Après,
thing
évidemment,
to
quand je dis
worry about.
Minecraft, ça prend pour... Enfin, il y a plein de trucs à Minecraft Dungeon aussi. L'univers Minecraft, est-ce que généralement ça
In
vous manque?
PvP, there's something for everyone. For players who like
Après, qu'il y ait
action,
du PvP
they
aussi,
can go
je
attack
pense
the
que c'est cool.
piglins or lay siege to the enemy base. For players who enjoy exploration, they can search the world to find resources for their team, hidden treasure chests, or scout the enemy base.
Gathering resources to
Vous
help
êtes
the team
1300
out,
les gars,
that's
merci
super
beaucoup.
important. But whenever I get into a PvP match, the first thing I try to
Pour
do
votre
is
présence.
to track down the Regal Tiger. It's my favorite mob to ride because it's really fast, but it's also really cute.
For players who like building, you can spend your time building defenses
Après,
and
j'imagine que ça va
upgrading
tellement
your
être un
base,
délire
because
de-
soon enough
tu
your
peux te
enemy
taper un
will
truc
attack,
RP avec tes
and you
potes.
need to be ready.
Genre vraiment.
So the first thing I do when we start is everyone runs off. I open
Bah,
the
clairement,
map,
si
see
tu
where the
kiffes
enemy
l'univers
base
du jeu
is.
de base,
First thing I build
kiffes.
is what we call an upgrade tower, where it allows you to build upgrades. So I
Mec,
place
tu
that at the back,
construis des
away
forteresses
from
de
the enemy.
ouf.
So I really pride myself in making, you know, impenetrable bases.
Since the goal of PvP is to destroy the opposing team's base, defending your own base is really important. You have to start with a lot of walls, a lot of towers, and some gates. After that, you can just add whatever you want, freestyle it a bit. I like to add different layers of walls, so my opponents have to find their way through to my base, almost like a maze.
And then once those walls are up, I like to actually hide my ice traps behind them to catch enemies off guard.
When it comes time to finally take out the other team, my favorite strategy is to make a forward camp just outside the enemy base. Then I get the biggest, strongest mobs I can as fast as I can and start sending them in.
Oh, le bazar que
Then I
c'est.
can smash down the walls, take out the
Mec.
mobs, and claim victory.
On dirait les combats de Forspoken. J'arrête.
Creating a strategy, having a game plan, deciding how you think you're going to crush the enemy, and then all of a sudden the hosts tell you,
the opposing team just built a redstone launcher.
and you're like, I can't do my attack now. I've got to like build an anti-siege tower, which is an anti-air tower, to stop the redstone launchers. You just have to be constantly changing your tactics. And sometimes you're like, I have no idea what they're doing. And then you certainly find out very quickly.
Resources, or do you want to go? A while back, we had somebody on our dev team use a strategy where they built a bunch of what are called plank golems, which are archers. So they're very weak, but they do a high amount of damage. And he had 40 of them, and he
Après,
just
c'est sûr
ran
que par
through our
contre,
base,
Minecraft,
ran
vous jouez
around
pas
our
pour sa
tower,
partie
and
visuelle.
took
Hein.
out
Ça,
our
c'est
entire tower
ça peut être
with
clair. Hein.
such a simple strategy.
C'est pour les
Vaut mieux pas.
We still love playing it every day because every game is different. You never know what's going to happen.
Ah, je sais que Minecraft c'est des millions de ventes. Je dis ça parce que il y a des gens que ça rebute et bon c'est la raison principale. Voilà. Donc, c'est
18 avril
2023 que sortira le jeu. Je mets l'info sur Twitter, excusez-moi.
Et évidemment, ça sera sur le Game Pass à la sortie.
Play it day one with Xbox Game Pass.
Et on passe du coup à Forza Motorsport.
Motorsports.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Sasaki, and welcome to Turn 10 Studios. The team is hard at work bringing you the next generation of Forza Motorsport, built from the ground up to take advantage of the Xbox Series consoles. This is the most technically advanced racing game ever made. Today, I'm joined by some of our amazing team members to show you how we are making it look real, sound real, and feel real. This is Forza Motorsport.
At launch, Forza Motorsport features over 500 cars for you to collect, race, and customize.
Ah oui, quand même.
With more than
500.
500 unique upgrades.
Ce n'est pas rien.
This includes over 100 new to motorsport cars, the most modern race cars we've ever featured on our roster. Racing is violent. It's a battle on the racetrack. The advancements in our physics model are greater than Forza Motorsport 5, 6, and 7 combined. This makes our driving experience more fun and rewarding in the way the car accelerates, corners, and brakes.
Je vous inviterai à revoir le truc aussi en 4K machin.
Ouais. Bah, là j'attends de voir une vraie démo de gameplay on va dire, mais ça a l'air quand même sacrément joli.
Le jeu va être une petite tarte hein, quand même.
Our paints
Ouais.
are sourced using a spectrophotometer to capture multiple data points of light behavior on a surface. This yields
Je pense que les détails sur les caisses
that
vont
has a much more
être immenses.
realistic light response across color, metal flake, and gloss. Damage and dirt buildup is unique to each car. It's now contextually aware and more localized. We simulate paint thickness, chipping, and directionality. Dirt accumulation is more realistic, gathering more in the low pressure areas like recesses and alcoves. These innovations tell the story of the work you put into a race and reflects the marks and battle scars of motorsport.
This is our best sounding Forza Motorsport ever. and the first to be mixed natively for immersive audio formats like Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos. To create an immersive soundscape, each audio system has been rebuilt from the ground up to deliver a new level of sonic depth and authenticity for our players. Modifying car parts like your exhaust and turbo change the car sounds in Forza Motorsport, just like it would in the real world. Every car now has a variety of sound possibilities based on the parts you've installed. Hardware-accelerated convolution reverb accurately reproduces how sounds in Forza interact within an acoustic space, dynamically adapting to its surroundings and creating a realistic and detailed soundscape. New features like our regional track announcer system and improved tire and suspension audio bring a new level of realism to the game. Hear Forza Motorsport like never before. Every tire squeal, every engine lap after.
C'est pas un DLC d'Horizon, c'est vraiment Forza Motorsport, c'est la série principale en fait.
Forza Motorsport launches with 20 environments built from the ground up for this generation. You'll get to race on iconic fan favorites.
Parce que oui, hein, pour ceux qui le savent pas, le jeu sort pas sur Xbox One, hein. C'est que Xbox Series et PC.
Ça va être cool.
We capture our environments to an incredible level of detail. When we reference a track, our team comes back with over 3 terabytes of highly detailed photogrammetry and laser scan data. Through the power of the Xbox Series consoles, we're able to use this data to draw up to 10 times more detail than previous generations.
Mais ça s'est vu cette façon dans la précédente séquence de gameplay, hein, c'était assez insane. Hein.
Animated track life, physically based lighting and volumetric fog effects, and a fully procedural cloud system that evolves organically. Tracks look alive, sound alive, and feel alive with cutting-edge visuals and crowds consisting of tens of thousands of fully animated 3D spectators. So you're always immersed in the pure spectacle of racing.
Par contre, c'était le circuit des 24 heures du Mans où j'ai rêvé.
Je t'avoue, j'ai pas tous les trucs en tête, mais c'est possible.
C'est juste parce que j'étais au GP Explorer. C'est juste pour ça.
Meanwhile, dynamic track temperatures, wet driving surfaces, and rubbering in ensure that no 2 laps ever play the same. I love the detail our talented team of artists have built into Kailami.
Et encore là, on est en train de streamer une première, quoi.
Ouais, c'est ça, on stream une vidéo, c'est pas dingo.
Non, mais c'est dire à quel point, en fait, là de base, c'est déjà super beau.
The Kailami logo itself creates visual impact every time you see it, thanks to ray-traced global illumination, which simulates how hundreds of thousands of light rays accumulate color as they bounce between surfaces. We're rendering all our environments in 4K at 60 FPS with real-time ray tracing on track.
Ray tracing sur
create
circuit.
true-to-life reflections on all smooth mirror and flat glass surfaces.
Non mais là, tu vois.
With the incredible
un truc,
detail and rendering.
Ah ouais, là sur le derrière de la voiture, ça fait quelque chose.
Forza Motorsport is truly a generational leap ahead with unmatched visual fidelity and authenticity.
Franchement, rematez-le en 4K 60, vous allez vous prendre une gifle, je pense. Rien que déjà là.
Forza Motorsport is back, and it's our most comprehensive game ever, with over 500 cars and 20 environments with more new race cars than ever before. You can experience all of this in our incredible new online racing mode and in our all-new car building.
Pour rappel, les précommandes pour Minecraft Legends sont ouvertes dès maintenant, ça a été annoncé par Xbox.
We cannot wait for you to get your hands on this incredible game.
Franchement, Forza, ça va être... Alors, quand est-ce qu'il sort, du coup? Parce que, bon...
Ouais, je tablerais sur un petit mois de mars, moi.
Y'a pas encore de date. Y'a pas encore de date.
Ah ouais?
Y'a pas de date. Ils avaient dit, en plus, le printemps. Je m'attendais à avoir du nouveau en termes de date, là. Pour le coup,
ouais,
je suis un peu
moi
déçu.
aussi.
Et ça veut dire que...
Ouais.
Y'a moyen qu'ils soient repoussés. Qu'ils sortent pas au printemps.
Ouais. Ouais, ouais. Bah clairement parce que le printemps c'est dans pas longtemps quoi.
Ouais.
Donc
ça c'est Tango ça.
Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard. Check this out.
Ils nous ont mis l'eau à la bouche là et ça fout un peu le seum.
Music player in my chest.
Ouais, un peu.
It's powering up my new robot arm. It's making everything sync up with the beat.
Je vais le dire sur Twitter.
Let's rock. This is awesome.
Ça me fait penser à un mix entre Sunset Overdrive, Jet Set Radio.
Je me rappelle d'ailleurs, Par contre, j'en profite juste pour vous dire, c'est Tango ça. Le jeu sort maintenant. En fait. Voilà, je savais que ce jeu existait. J'avais eu des infos. Je peux le dire. Le jeu est dispo dès la fin de la vie. Vraiment. Si ce qu'on m'a dit est vrai.
J'adore. Par le créateur de The Evil Within 2. Alors ça fait pas du tout la même chose quoi.
Les rumeurs étaient vraies aussi.
I'm Shinji Mikami, studio head at Tang
Shinji,
Gameworks.
on t'aime.
Thank you for all your support.
Salut Shinji.
On t'aime.
And I'm John Johannes, director on Hi-Fi Rush.
Chill out. It'll be fine.
Alors c'est juste qu'en fait moi à l'époque j'avais déjà joué à Jet Set Radio sur Xbox 360, je crois, je sais plus c'était lequel d'ailleurs. Et aujourd'hui c'est juste que la DA j'apprécie pas. C'est après chacun son style après. Mais...
Ah oui, mais c'est vrai que moi non plus ça me donne pas très envie.
Mais c'est vrai que ça change beaucoup de... Voilà, ils viennent de dire. On fait des jeux flippants. Mais là par contre on va faire autre chose quoi.
Ouais. Après des fois c'est bien de rester sur ce qu'on sait faire. Hein.
Ça dépend après, ça peut être cool hein.
Ah oui, mais... Moi j'aurais bien aimé un The Evil Within 3 par exemple.
Je sais pas si le 2 a tant marché que ça.
Non.
Donc... ce sera un diptyque et puis point final.
So we've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's jump in and explain exactly what Hi-Fi Rush is.
C'est-à-dire qu'ils vont garder Redfall pour le dernier jeu?
Il y a des chances, par contre, je l'ai toujours en travers de la gorge Forza qui a pas de date. Hein.
Oui. C'est pas trop ce à quoi on s'attendait.
C'est un peu dérangeant. Vous êtes 1500 avec nous les gars, merci.
Surtout, il passe de printemps 2023 à 2023 sans dire officiellement que c'est reporté.
Deuxième guncheck, il dit que ça a l'air propre.
That's Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush.
You play as Chai, a wannabe rock star and victim of a weird corporate experiment that lets him sense the rhythm of the entire world pulsing to the game soundtrack.
Ah bah Tango vient de tweeter effectivement, il est disponible dès maintenant dans le Game Pass.
Your attacks will automatically sync to land on the beat, making Hi-Fi Rush a super easy game to start playing. However, attacking on the beat leads to combos that end with a musical countdown we call a beat hit. Think a big cymbal crash at the end of a drum solo, like this. Landing beat hits unleash a combo finish that adds unique musical flair and high damage attacks.
And the crowd goes wild.
Chai, chai, chai.
Ouais, les Matrix aussi.
Oh, anyone see the guy that did this?
How about we see it
Ça
all
peut plaire
in
à certains.
Bring it on.
You're never restrained by the music. You can jump, dodge, parry, and attack whenever you want, using whatever attacks you want. It's not about mashing buttons. The key here is feeling the beat. Your progress isn't blocked by missing the beat, but you get rewarded musically and mechanically for staying in rhythm. When we say everything moves, we mean it. Enemy attacks, cutscenes, dangerous obstacles, you name it.
Par contre, il n'y aura pas Mirage aujourd'hui.
It all syncs to the music, creating an ongoing jam session of a game. To help out is 808, your robot cat companion who literally hovers over your shoulder and helps you find that rhythm.
Flûte.
But we also have visual guides
Je
to
suis vraiment
help
fan
you
de
even more.
navigation privée.
We want you to be able to enjoy Hi-Fi Rush, whether you're Rhythm Pro or not.
I look so cool
Hop là, petit sondage pour savoir ce que vous en pensez.
Chai also gets by with a little help from his friends.
J'ai répondu.
Non mais c'est bon, toi, t'as pas le droit, punaise.
Get up, slacker. We've got work to do.
Chai will team up with unlikely allies to expand his repertoire of moves both in and out of combat. There's Peppermint breaking barriers and juggling enemies, along with Macaron smashing enemy armor and knocking back enemies. Tag teaming with Chai's partners and attacks opens up huge possibilities for dynamic combos and over-the-top action.
Mais attendez, je viens d'avoir une révélation. Tango, ils ont fait Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ouais.
Ça fait 2 fois qu'ils nous mettent une nouille là quand même du coup. Là. Ça fait...
Pourquoi?
Shinji Mikami a bossé sur Ghostwire Tokyo. Il a validé ça. D'accord.
J'y ai pas joué moi.
Apparemment c'est pas au niveau de Shinji Mikami.
Enfin j'y ai joué mais je l'ai pas fini.
Dans son âge, vous êtes quand même 54% à dire que le jeu vous le trouvez sympa quand même. Bon, 46 c'est pas à votre cam.
Ok.
Quasi 50-50. Mais vous êtes quand même plutôt intéressé. Il y a un délire, hein.
So let's get ready to crumble.
C'est surtout qu'ils ont des choses à dire sur le jeu.
Set pieces, varying from straight up fights and musical minigames to chase sequences. Custom choreographed to licensed music from amazing artists. Hi-Fi Rush is like nothing we've made at Tango before. And we think it's like nothing you've ever played before either. It's a high energy, feel good rhythm.
C'est moi que ça se répète beaucoup ce qu'on voit.
Amazingly satisfying to play.
Je t'avoue que je suis en train de faire le CM pour JV en même temps. J'entrevois le truc. Mais alors un peu long.
Oui, aussi.
Rockstar move, Chai.
Hi-Fi Rush.
もしね、ハイファイラッシュでお客さんから怖いって言われたら、俺もう死んじゃうかも。まあ他にもびっくりさせることあると思うんだけど、例えば猫とか撫でれたりするの。
いや、それは当たり前でしょうね。いや、でももう一つのサプライズはありますよ。
まあこれはジョンのゲームだから、ジョンからどうぞ。
So, not only were we super psyched for you to play this, we're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush tonight. Not a demo.
Et voilà, disponible dès ce soir.
It launches on Xbox and PC a few hours after the show, and yes, it'll be on Game Pass as well.
Xbox, PC et Game Pass.
Ah voilà.
Super psyched.
Bon bah...
You looking for me?
C'est assez délirant.
Mind if I join?
C'est complètement différent par rapport à l'autre.
Does that mean I have to fight?
I believe it does, sir. How about...
Voulez-vous le prendre direct pour tester? Bah écoutez, faites-vous plaisir.
You're going out with the trash.
Foncez tester tout ça, allumez votre Xbox Series. Je sais pas s'il sort sur Xbox ou pas. Ah, pas One. Ouais, effectivement.
Non, il sort pas sur One.
C'est Series PC. Bah voilà, ça c'était l'annonce de Tango Tango. Là on passe à...
ZeniMax.
Ça y est. The Elder Scrolls Online. C'est nouveau ça. Hein. C'est nouveau.
Welcome to Hunt Valley, Maryland,
Oh,
and
lui,
the headquarters
franchement,
of
ça fait
ZeniMax
10 ans
Online
que je le vois,
Studios. You just saw a cinematic teaser for the Elder Scrolls Online's next chapter. I'm pleased to reveal ESO Necrom, which will launch in June and is shaping up to be one of the best
Ça fait
updates
un
to
peu
the
penser à la
game
mort.
ever. If you watch the teaser closely, you saw that Necrom will include one of the most requested features in ESO, a new playable class called the Arcanist. It's only our third new class since launch, and we know you're going to love it. The Arcanist wields magic influenced by forbidden knowledge and has unique abilities never before seen in this world. Of course, the experience of exploring a new area of Tamriel is the heart of every ESO chapter. Necrom will unfold in eastern Morrowind, not seen in an Elder Scrolls game since 1994, where you will meet new characters and enemies, reunite with some old friends, and explore a story based around the return of a well-known Daedric prince you just might remember from the Dragonborn Skyrim DLC. For those of you new to ESO, we release a new expansion called a chapter every year.
C'est un cousin à Miles Morales ou pas?
C'est un prince des draps, le prince des draps de la connaissance, c'est lui qui a perverti Miracle, par exemple, dans le DLC de Skyrim.
We've got so many amazing experiences you can enjoy right now. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region of ESO. And as anyone who's played a classic Elder Scrolls game knows, it's all about those feelings when you're fully immersed in the world. Remember that feeling when you first encountered a dragon? We've got an entire province that's overrun by dragons. Or questioned if you were capable of taking down a frost troll in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind that was built inside the shell of a giant crab? For the Oblivion fans out there, another chance at taking on the colossal Daedric Prince, Mehrunes Dagon. Just like any single-player Elder Scrolls game, you can have a blast simply by following the main quest line. Or seek out lore and learn more about the world. Become a
je vais relancer tes os en fait, hein.
Go fishing. Decorate and furnish your home.
Il paraît que t'as relancé The Witcher déjà.
Play it like an action RPG. And when you're ready, you can easily engage in one of the best open-world PvP systems. Run dungeons co-op with your friends for great loot. Or just join a guild to chat with others. The possibilities in this virtual world are endless.
Ça serait bien.
New players will immediately feel right at home because our community is one of the most, if not the most, welcoming on the planet.
Franchement, il m'a grave rechauffé pour relancer le jeu.
We invite everyone who has not yet experienced ESO to give it a try and create your own stories in our shared world. There's no required subscription and thousands of hours of content to dig into, solo.
Après, pour le coup, moi j'avais essayé en solo, j'avais du mal à accrocher un peu. Mais par contre, j'avais joué avec deux potes, et c'est vrai que j'avais passé un agréable moment. Le problème aussi, par contre, ça c'est des trucs qui est inhérent au MMO, c'est que bon, la thune que tu dois mettre.
Including a purpose-built next-gen version for the Xbox Series X and S with high-fidelity graphics and enhanced performance modes. An added bonus for Xbox players, it's on Game Pass. And starting today, for a limited time, we're making all past chapters available for any player. So everyone can test drive.
Ah ça par contre c'est trop bien mec.
Ah ouais, ça c'est pas mal.
Ah non ça c'est génial, c'est génial. Putain c'est gratos.
At ZOS, we have so many passionate.
Ils en ont fait des trucs hein.
Ouais non mais ça c'est génial, c'est génial. Là, ils ont sorti plusieurs chapitres et tout, j'ai pas tout acheté. Punaise.
Immensely proud to be a part of it. Believe me, we have tons more to share, and I can't wait for the team to show it all to you. Join us after this show for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal, where we'll go deep into all things Necrom. Thanks, see you in Tamriel.
Punaise. Bah franchement, moi je relance tes os. Hein. Je relance tes os direct. Bon, on termine avec notre cher Redfall, qui va avoir 15 minutes quand même quasi.
Ouais.
Bah je tweet, hein, désolé.
J'ai très envie de voir.
Nobody ever believes things can get this bad until it happens. Then it's too late. But there are people who can fight back.
Stick together! Eyes up!
Welcome to RedFall, Massachusetts, where the calm seas and sunny skies have been eclipsed by a legion of vampires. RedFall is a story-driven shooter at its heart, which can be played single-player or co-op with up to 4 players. Choose your hero, each with their own unique abilities, and form the perfect vampire slaying squad to take back RedFall's haunted streets.
At Arcane, we make games where the world itself is as important as the characters. With RedFall, we take an exciting step forward, building a lovingly detailed open world to deliver our largest setting ever. Every inch of our open world is carefully handcrafted and packed with environmental storytelling. Explore the streets of a quaint island town, from the once bustling downtown to the haunted forest to the decimated seaside boardwalk and gorgeously detailed landmarks. But it's not all danger all the time. There are safe places on the island where you can rest up, chat with survivors, and resupply. Here we're at the fire station, one of your home bases. This is one place you'll receive missions from survivors.
There's something I need you to do.
Le jeu est pas moche en plus. Hein.
It's been
Non,
used
ça
for
va.
over a century to keep boats away from the coastline. If we turn it back on,
Non, après, il n'y a pas Starfield, les frérots. Après, c'est fini.
Easy, right? Well, the lighthouse
Vois
keeper's
venir,
a real
là.
asshole. Joined up with those cultists and took the damn lamp with him.
Go on, Bird.
Here's a vampire known as the Shroud. Shrouds blanket the area in darkness, disorienting their prey. They hurl lethal projectiles and can even shift through the floor to avoid damage.
Pas rassurant ça.
Par contre, après tout ce qui est animation, ça a l'air quand même assez
Scolaire.
simpliste.
Et cela dit, l'ambiance par contre, a l'air pas trop mal.
The lighthouse is back up, but there's more waiting for you. Taking down vampires angers the vampire gods, who will summon the Rook to take you down.
Let's transition to what you'll find outside of the main story missions. There's so much waiting for you. RedFall is filled with encounters that can pop up anywhere, like this brewery that's fallen under cultist control. Save the locals from being offered to the vampires. Like our past games, you can approach a mission in many different ways.
Ça c'est pareil, les missions secondaires, j'ai un peu peur que ça soit un peu ce qu'on connaît déjà dans à peu près tous les jeux.
J'ai peur qu'on devienne des vieux cons aigris du jeu vidéo.
Il y a peut-être un peu de ça aussi, hein.
Headshot.
We got him, Bribon.
Je vais faire un petit sondage pour savoir par rapport à RedFall. Je sais que 53% d'entre vous par contre veulent lancer tes os. Alors, RedFall, est-ce que ça vous chauffe ou pas?
Sachant que c'est vrai, là je l'ai vu dans le chat, ça serait jouable en coop aussi, donc ça peut être encore plus fun. C'est vrai que ça compte.
Boum, sondage.
Vraiment, j'aime bien la DA, quoi.
Pas trop mal. Enfin, c'est le style d'Arkane, quoi, en fait.
Oui, ouais. c'est pas un truc réaliste quoi.
Après le truc a son style particulier, donc moi je les apprécie. Non, c'est dégueulasse ces trucs.
Everyone's safe. Let's move on. Exploring Redfall will take you beyond the bounds of
Ça
reality.
casse pas trois pattes à un canard là qui est martial, je me pose des questions de
de
plus en plus sur...
Take this vampire nest. These deadly layers change each time you step inside.
En fait, il faudrait que je me remette tous les trailers, que je
Jacob sends
revoie
out his raven to
les
tag
moments où
the
t'en
enemies
parles dans les
below.
vidéos. Parce que j'ai
Dev
déjà vu
follows
ça,
up with his
quand même.
teleporter, instantly closing the gap.
J'adore le sound design, les bruits sont ultra satisfaisants. Pardon.
Par contre, j'attends la date de sortie, hein, nous faites pas une Forza.
Je rigole s'il y en a pas. Sur les deux jeux les plus attendus, s'ils mettent pas la date, je vais péter les plombs.
Now escape the nest before it comes crashing down.
It'll collapse any second.
Nests aren't the only psychic spaces. You'll find dangerous pockets all over the island. It's all vampire turf, so tread carefully.
On peut juste des questions sur le déplacement. Les capiers.
Redfall won't truly be safe until the vampires are wiped from the map. Outside the main story, another one of your missions is to take back Redfall neighborhood by neighborhood. Find safe houses hidden all over the island, and then work your way up to the vampire controlling the neighborhood.
Ouais, bon, ça c'est du classique par contre.
You'll have to defeat a powerful vampire.
Ah, c'est Ubisoft.
Called the Siphon. Whether you dive in solo or with friends, each hero can take on any situation. Each brings powerful, unique abilities to the fight, and the upgrades you choose change how they play. Here, Layla's lift ability can be upgraded to launch teammates for airborne attacks. Upgrade Layla's umbrella ability with bullet hail to absorb enemy bullets and release the energy back at them. There are many ways to customize your hero's ability tree to match
déçu
your
graphiquement, c'est
playstyle.
trop cartoon Fortnite avec des vampires. Là, c'est le style d'Arkane.
Let's get some light on the subject.
Let's hit on the arsenal.
Que ce
There's a
soit
wide
Arcane
range of
Austin ou
weapons,
Arcane
from
Lyon.
military gear to new vampire slaying inventions. From shotguns to sniper rifles.
À 45%, ça vous chauffe grave. À 36%, vous dites avoir. 20% de nope.
And of course, there's also vampire stakes. Find these in the world to customize your weapons.
Ouais. Par contre, tu vois, j'aurais peut-être apprécié plus que ça en vue TPS.
When you reclaim significant sections of Redfall,
Ouais, c'est pas fou. C'est pas fou.
or used to control that
Ça n'a peut-être pas fait les mêmes sensations, c'est sûr.
Underbosses are powerful elites of the vampire gods with their own unique
Bah,
abilities.
disons, ouais, si t'as un vampire qui te fonce dessus, peut-être histoire d'avoir encore plus la sensation de peur, c'est quand même mieux en FPS. Mais...
C'est sûr. Bon, en gros, voyez-vous comme des mecs Ghostbusters avec des flingues, quoi.
Step closer to facing the ultimate threat, the vampire gods.
Oh, c'est dégueulasse.
Thank you for visiting Redfall.
And thank you for all the support you've shown Arcane throughout the years.
We sometimes joke that our games can be tough to define. The one thing that's consistent?
We make the kinds of games we love to play.
And that's how Redfall was born. We blended everything we love here at Arcane Austin.
Immersive open worlds, unique and customizable heroes, RPG and FPS gameplay.
And of course, our signature storytelling and rich world building.
Along with our spin on one of the most classic monsters of all time.
Vampires.
Ouais, ils appuient pas mal sur la narration quand même. Hein. Donc j'espère que ça sera vraiment travaillé là-dessus.
Is the biggest, most ambitious game we have ever made.
Our teams dove head first into this new opportunity, and we can't wait for you to experience Redfall for yourself.
Redfall.
Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much
sortira
longer.
effectivement le 2 mai.
Redfall's coming on May 2nd.
Sortira
très bien.
And we'll see you soon in Redfall.
Ah, c'est Adri qui fera le test.
Bon, je suis chaud, moi.
Moi, je suis chaud. C'est marrant, il y avait marqué vite sur l'écran.
Putain.
Je suis désolé. Redfall, May 2, 2023 on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, Steam and Epic Game Store by Arcana Steam and Bethesda. That's pretty awesome.
Et Game Pass.
And Game
évidemment.
Pass. Ok. Alors, un petit trailer de fin qui va me servir pour les prochains journaux Xbox Series pour les 6 prochains mois. C'est bon.
There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Donc pour rappel, 18 avril 2023 pour Minecraft. Bon bah Comic 2023, ça par contre c'est le truc qui m'a le plus déçu quoi.
Ouais. C'est vrai que c'est dommage.
Ils te mettent l'eau à la bouche comme ça, là, comme des oufs, et après ils te disent ah bah en fait. Pour l'instant je vais juste regarder où se situe le stream pour tes os.
Thanks and see you in Tamriel.
Ah oui, ils ont commencé leur live. Ah ouais. Bah les gars, on va enchaîner direct hein. Donc Adri, si tu veux partir ou pas, dis-moi, tu feras comme tu veux, je te prends live.
Ouais, je vais t'abandonner.
Ah bah écoute, ok, parce que là, on enchaîne direct. 52 secondes. Mais le format est cool hein.
Thanks for watching.
Bah écoutez, pour ceux qui partent, merci à tous d'avoir suivi ce live. Nous on va enchaîner avec le Global Reveal de Elder Scrolls. Ça rigole zéro les gars, on ne s'arrête pas. Bah écoute Adri, gros bisous. Merci à toi de m'avoir accompagné.
Ciao. Ciao, bah de rien, avec plaisir.
Bonne soirée.
Bonne soirée à toi, bonne soirée à tous. Ciao.
Et puis à demain pour de nouvelles aventures. Merci.
Oui, il y a beaucoup de choses qui arrivent demain.
Oui,
voilà.
je vous le dis. Hein. Bon, attendez demain. Attendez demain.
Allez, à demain.
Bisous Adri, ciao. Bien les amis, ce qu'on va faire c'est que, ah bah vu qu'il est parti, la dinguerie, on enchaîne avec Tezo là. On enchaîne avec Tezo, on s'en bat les steaks. Moi pendant ce temps, je vais me réincruster, j'arrive. Mais je suis là. Ah ça commence dans 5 minutes. Ah bon alors attendez, faut que j'ai le temps de m'incruster. Alors, vous savez ce que je vais faire? C'est que je vais carrément mettre ma cam, genre direct dans le truc. Et c'est vrai que le format est vachement... Attends, j'ai baissé le son. Et c'est vrai que le format est vachement... comment dire? Est plus rythmé aujourd'hui, je trouve. J'apprécie pas mal. J'apprécie pas mal. Capture d'écran... Enfin, capture de fenêtre. Voilà. Attendez, les sous-titres ils sont pas du tout bien. Attendez, je vais changer les sous-titres tout de suite, c'est quoi ce délire? Ah bah oui, il m'a mis de l'arabe. Hop là, je vous mets du français. Alors, moi pendant ce temps, je dois juste m'incruster, je vous prie de m'excuser. Parce que vu qu'Adri est parti, j'avais pas du tout calculé que ça allait foutre un dawa complet. Excusez-moi.
I'm so excited to spend some of this evening with you tonight. We do have a few moments before the global reveal officially.
Et je pense que oui, ils ont peut-être trouvé la bonne formule. Après, faut pas qu'ils le fassent ultra régulièrement non plus, si c'est pour rien dire, ça n'a que peu d'intérêt. En revanche, oui, moi je trouve ça plutôt pas mal. C'est cool, c'est rythmé, y a pas de blabla, on voit du jeu, on va à l'essentiel et tout. Je valide le format effectivement. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce délire là? Bon, d'accord, j'avais pas capté. Ah, on a perdu 500 personnes. Oh non. Mais on va regarder ça. Je sais pas combien de temps ça va être dur. C'est la première fois, c'est vrai que... C'est la première fois que... Attendez, parce que... Je peux les enlever, parce que pour le coup, ça passe. J'ai pas de maux de tête ce soir, donc c'est bon. Ah bah, Raph qui me pose des questions. Mes lunettes, c'est des lunettes anti-lumière bleue. Ça m'évite d'avoir des migraines en fin de journée, parce que je vous avoue que les écrans... plus c'est projo dans la gueule, ça commence un peu à m'exploser la santé. Mais voilà. Et du coup, Raph, pour Tango, bah en fait... Le problème, c'est qu'on a tes os juste après. Je voulais faire le live direct après. Pour ceux qui savent pas, c'est qui Raph? C'est notre rédac chef. Faut préciser. Alors, on dit bonjour quand on est poli. Dans le chat, dites bonjour à Raphaël. C'est le mec qui a pas compris. Oui, c'est anti-lumière bleue. Donc, du coup, c'est jaune. Oui, ça, ouais. C'est parce que ça me... Il y a eu des soirs où je me tapais des migraines, les frérots. C'était compliqué. C'était pas une lunette de vue. Donc voilà. Ah non, c'est pas un jeu de cooking, hein, c'est juste monsieur qui se fait un peu plaisir. Ils auraient pu mettre une démo jouable de Forza. Bah, dans la mesure où ils ont même pas mis de date, les gars, demander une démo, je pense que c'est beaucoup quand même. Hein. Je pense que c'est même limite trop, quoi. Limite, c'est beaucoup, quoi. On a 1 minute 50 après, donc... Puis c'est cool pour les fans aussi. Vous en avez pensé quoi de la conf au global? Certes, vous avez dit que... Ah, mais attendez, je suis trop bête! Il y a Bethesda France? Ah non, pas du tout. Attendez, est-ce que sur Bethesda France, ils ont le live? Est-ce qu'ils sont en direct? Ouais, ils sont pas en direct. Mais bon, j'ai envie de vous dire... we'll see. Pas très grave. Pourquoi j'ai de l'anglais? Bien, et bah on commence. C'est parti. Non mais par contre, les frérots! Wow, les timers là! Les timers! Arrêtez! Arrêtez, c'est trop! C'est trop! Bon allez, c'est pas grave. Il reste 45 secondes, c'est pas très grave. On va quand même passer une bonne fin de journée, les gars. On ne se laisse pas abattre. On ne se laisse pas abattre. Non mais frère, on se tape des rafales de timer. J'ai rarement vu ça dans toute ma vie, quoi. C'est un truc de fou. C'est un truc de fou. Allez, 23 secondes. En vrai, ça fait longtemps que j'ai pas parlé de Tezo sur les chaînes, là. Ou même de Elder Scrolls. Ça me fait un bien fou. Allez. Ouf. Ouf. Allez.
Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 2023 Global Reveal. Whether you're coming from our developer direct or just joining us now,
je tweet qu'on est en live sur ça et je reviens à vous dans une seconde.
Today, ZeniMax Online Studio Director
J'arrive.
Matt Farrer shared some exciting details on the Elder Scrolls Online's next adventure. That includes one of the most requested features from the ESO community, a new playable class called the Arcanist. Matt also revealed that the new chapter, called Necrom, will take you back to a familiar location in Tamriel, Morrowind. And while there, you'll run into a familiar face, a well-known Daedric prince from the Skyrim Dragonborn DLC. That's just a taste of what's to come. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Once again, it's my great pleasure to introduce the Elder Scrolls Online's creative director and my friend, Rich Lambert. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Pete.
Good to see you here.
Yeah, it's so great to be back, to talk with you about all the new fun things the team's been working so hard on. I can't wait to share it with you all.
All right, it's time to talk Necrom. Are you excited?
I'm thrilled for this year. We're going to be exploring a new story and theme centered around the Dark Elves and Hermaeus Mora. The best way to describe this story is Shadow over Morrowind. But before I go into any more detail, we've got a great way to introduce you to the mood and feel of this arc. It's Elder Scrolls meets cosmic horror, and I can't wait for you all to see it.
Well, they don't have to wait any longer. This is the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom.
Par contre les gars, les trailers de Bethesda, ça déconne zéro. Je veux trop mater ça. Pour ceux qui ne savent pas, c'est Hermaïs Mora, c'est le prince des draps de la connaissance. Ah, je crois qu'elle a passé un pacte avec Arma Mora en fait. Ouais, je pense qu'elle a passé un pacte avec lui. Okay.
That was awesome. Those mushroom towers really take me back.
Yep.
And some powerful moments in there, but let's start with breaking down the story in Necrom.
Everything centers around Hermaeus Mora. We've explored small pieces of who this prince is in a few zones in ESO up to this point, but there are complicated Daedric prints. Mora is the knower of unknown and hoards knowledge and secrets in their realm. Some of these secrets are just too dangerous for any being to know. There are hidden powers that threaten Mora's realm of Apocrypha, with the ultimate goal of uncovering one of these secrets. A secret so important and so dangerous that if discovered, it can unravel all of reality.
This isn't just Tamriel that's in trouble. This is all of Nirn.
Yes, absolutely.
So where do our players fit into the mix?
Players are essentially being tested by Mora to see if they are worthy to help aid them. So over the course of this adventure, players will become sort of a protector of this ultimate secret that these hidden powers are searching for. And there's also an opportunity for players to seek out other knowledge if they wish, to dig into some of the origins of our new playable class in the Arcanist.
Cool new playable class. I am so in, and I know
Bah demain je vais me dépêcher pour faire le Forza Monthly. J'avoue que il y a un très gros truc que je dois faire demain chez un éditeur et je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de faire l'aller-retour. C'est dans Paris. Je vais essayer de me dépêcher. Parce que je voulais le faire à la base, hein, mais je vous tiendrai au courant.
So you're going to see that familiar alien landscape with the giant mushrooms and all the like, but it's got a very different feel than any of the locations that we've previously explored.
And I'm guessing the city we saw, that was Necrom, yes?
Yep.
And we haven't seen that since the Elder Scrolls Arena, and it looks very different now.
Ah oui, c'est Arena.
Yeah, a lot has changed since then, but yeah, Necrom is the main city in the chapter. And there's so much amazing lore around this. It's a city of the dead where Dunmer families.
T'as loupé la conférence, Louzari, mais faut savoir que là on est vraiment sur le reveal centré sur The Elder Scrolls Online pour le prochain chapitre. Et je vous avoue que ça me donne grave envie de monter une équipe et de repartir en Tamriel.
Now, finally, Necrom isn't the only cool location that players are going to get to explore. So tell us about the zone that I'm pretty familiar with, and some of our players will be too, and that's Apocrypha.
Yes, the
Ah, il y a Apocrypha.
To forbidden knowledge.
Also home to the know-it-all.
On a bien connu ça dans Skyrim.
It's always great to revisit other areas of Tamriel that we haven't seen in an Elder Scrolls game, but I know the folks at ZOS like to build everything from scratch. So when it comes to the Prince's Realm,
c'est vrai que là par contre on pourra y aller en mode plus libre que dans Skyrim par exemple.
The Apocrypha that you know and love from Skyrim it's definitely there.
Grave, on monte une équipe.
Waters, the towering stacks of books, you know, those unique yellow-green skies. But like always, we love being able to explore new areas, love putting our own spin on things, and we want to make this our own and give the players new fun things to explore and learn.
It's so exciting. Sounds like a great blend of the old and the new when it comes to like the biomes and the places the players are going to be exploring in Necrom. And in fact, let's explore more of Necrom right now with more details from the team.
For the regions in Morrowind and Apocrypha that have been explored in previous Elder Scrolls games, we approached them carefully, making sure on one side it felt like a trip down memory lane, but also providing new experiences for everyone. Our destination this time was the Telvanni Peninsula, an area we visited in the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena. We also caught a glimpse of its coastline in Test 3, Morrowind. This is the first time any game has returned to these lands in almost 30 years, and we were really excited to bring them back. The giant mushrooms and distinctive fungus-covered Telvanni towers are back, of course. The East Asian influences at work in some of the architecture and general aesthetics also return, as does the alien landscape so crucial to representing the lands around Vardenfell. For many players, Morrowind was their first introduction to an open-world RPG, and this concept was reflected in the expansive environments of Test 3. ESO has always honored this basic idea, the idea of a world ripe for wandering, and our depiction of the Telvanni coast will reflect this. The sense of odd scale you may feel walking through it are paramount. In terms of differences, we've crafted a modern view of the city of Necrom, not seen since 1994. Getting to work on something Elvish which predates the Tribunal is particularly interesting. Necrom is the Dunmer City of the Dead, where all prominent Dark Elves gather to pay respects and lay to rest their honored departed. Lord Vivek, known as the warrior poet, spun some wild stories about the city's foundations, which may or may not be true. But what's definitely true is that the Dark Elves have a particular reverence for the city and its solemn purpose in their culture. It's naturally a cool thing to be able to contribute in any significant way to a long-standing piece of Elder Scrolls lore. For the Telvanni coast, we had a lot of fun playing with the legend of Necrom.
Il y avait une tenue Telvanni dans Skyrim, je crois.
The lore of Vivek himself having defeated the great beast Golgamorjil.
Avec des épaulettes un peu.
Supposedly lay the foundations for the city. Entering Necrom for the first time, you're bound to notice the towering rib-like rock formations which envelop the city. The Dunmer have even added some runic symbols on the faces of the rocks themselves in recognition of their supposed origins.
Ah mais Bilna, par contre à la base, tu sais que Tezo, t'avais un portail hein. Tezo, t'avais un abonnement qui s'appelait je sais plus quoi. Enfin fallait prendre le Tamriel Unlimited, je sais plus, il y avait un abonnement pour y accéder. Tu payais le jeu et tu payais un pass pour y jouer. Ils l'ont enlevé parce que ça tenait plus du tout au modèle économique de 2014. C'était éclaté.
We specifically took a lot of inspiration from the classic Telvanni buildings in Morrowind. And finally, we have Apocrypha.
Ah, je te conseille de commencer par Skyrim après, même si Tezo, c'est une bonne porte d'entrée. Ah bah oui, Apocrypha, oui, tu m'étonnes. Ah bah oui, tu m'étonnes.
Then we expanded on the ideas presented in the original. We'll be sharing more details on the unexplored areas of Apocrypha later this year. For the meantime, let's talk about the parts that players are a little more familiar with. Some lands in Tamriel appear quite normal to our mortal eyes, and some, like the Telvanni coast, feel foreign. And then there are the Oblivion Plains, whose lands bend our mortal perceptions into the most alien landscape possible. In crafting the Plain of Apocrypha, it was important to remember that Hermaeus Mora doesn't really adhere to traditional ideas of good or evil as many other Daedric princes do. Likewise, Hermaeus Mora's realm isn't a representation of good or evil either.
C'est vrai qu'Hermaeus Mora, techniquement, même s'il a l'apparence un peu chelou, il est pas le bien ni le mal non plus en fait. Généralement, c'est pas aussi simple avec un tel prince des draps quand même. Et les princes des draps, c'est des connards, genre. Monakbal, Hermaeus Mora. Et d'autres où c'est un peu plus compliqué. Tu vois, Hirsine par exemple, prince des draps de la chasse, il est pas si. Voilà. C'est pas si simple. C'est pas si manichéen. Même s'il fait des trucs hardcore aussi. Mais... Et dans Skyrim, je crois qu'Hermaeus Mora, tu peux choisir de le rejoindre ou pas. C'est différent. Chez Ogorat, ouais.
When we chose the setting for Necrom, we knew we had to deliver a story that lives up to this location, and the team had a lot of fun bringing this story to life. If you're not super familiar with any of the fantasy names that we've been talking about, imagine a holy necropolis in the middle of an ancient hierarchical society presided over by extremely powerful mages. Yeah, there's a lot of fun tensions there for us to play with. Necrom remains neutral territory in regards to the great houses of Morrowind. Keeping the City of the Dead neutral means all Dark Elves can appease their ancestors and ensure their bodies are taken care of, even as the Three Banners War rages on. This is incredibly important since the tradition of bringing the dead to Necrom predates the Tribunal and the creation of Dark Elves as we know them. It's an integral part of the Dark Elves' cultural identity. In other words, this is an ancient City of the Dead which isn't controlled by any one Dark Elf house, even though it's surrounded by the Telvanni Magisters, some of the most egotistical and powerful mages in the entirety of Tamriel. But the peninsula isn't the only place you'll get to explore. As a writer and certified library nerd, I'm so excited that this year we get to take you to Apocrypha for the first time since the Dragonborn DLC. You'll be accompanied by Laramil the Wise, a powerful mage who works with Hermaeus Mora, the Prince of Forbidden Knowledge. Notice I said with and not for. Laramil doesn't worship Hermaeus Mora. They have a working relationship that's built on mutual respect. As much respect as Hermaeus Mora can have for a mortal. See, mortals don't really survive in Apocrypha for a long time. Knowledge is enticing, but you'd be a fool to assume that it's harmless. And the sheer amount of information there tends to melt mortal minds, mangle their bones, contort their flesh, and turn them into terrifying creatures called the Hushed.
Both, huh?
Some books are lifeless collections of paper, totally safe to pick up. But others house tome shells, small Daedra who live between the pages of Apocrypha's first edition.
Je comprends qu'au début tu peux avoir peur de l'univers, ça fasse bizarre, mais je vous promets que c'est un des meilleurs univers que j'ai vu de toute ma vie.
That there was a hermit crab already living in it, then you know just how surprising a tome shell can be. Tome shells and Hushed aren't the only denizens in Apocrypha. No, Apocrypha's guardians lurk around every corner.
Oh, je l'ai détesté eux dans Skyrim. Punaise. Comment je l'ai détesté.
It's best to be sure that you're really alone before you pick up some light reading. You'll even meet a clanless Dremora called Torvasard, who refuses to let the secrets of Apocrypha remain undisturbed. Torvasard's motives are as mysterious and complex as his allegiances. It's really hard to tell if he's friend or foe. This chapter isn't all about exploring crypts and making friends with Eldritch horrors.
Ah non, tu peux te lancer dans tes eaux, hein, Genius. De toute façon, ils rendent tous les DLC et toutes les extensions, tous les chapitres gratuits, donc c'est vraiment pour que les gens puissent venir. C'est quoi ces armures dégueulasses?
Shelreni seeks to climb the ranks of her house by any means necessary, even working with anyone who
Après, il y a beaucoup à faire, oui. Mais, vas-y, attends, vas-y, prends ton temps, tu vois.
If you've played ESO before, there are a bunch of familiar faces for you to find throughout this chapter. I won't spoil all of the surprises, but we are bringing back my favorite Morag Tong assassin, Asher. Okay, yes, Narya will make an appearance too.
Tu viens de spoiler là.
With all this focus on secrecy and forbidden knowledge, it'll be up to you to discover the truth and stop enemies across Eastern Morrowind and Apocrypha. Good luck!
Hey everyone, we're excited to let you all know that the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now.
Ah, trop cool, je vais l'acheter! Oh, super, 5 juin!
We've got plenty of reasons for you to pre-purchase and jump into ESO today.
If you're a new player,
si vous êtes un nouveau joueur et que vous n'avez pas joué à ESO pour le moment, écoutez bien. Écoutez bien.
You'll want to go with the Necrom collection.
Collection Necrom.
Either version, the standard or the deluxe collection, grants you instant access to 6 of our previous chapters and the base game.
Ils avaient pas dit que c'était gratuit.
And you'll of course be able to access the Necrom chapter once it launches in June.
That's hundreds of hours of content all in one
Vous avez pas dit que
package.
c'était
We
gratuit?
like to refer to it as 8 games in one, since each is like its own standalone Elder Scrolls adventure. And keep in mind, you can play these in any order too.
Ils avaient pas dit que c'était
For current
gratuit?
players, we're offering both standard and deluxe upgrades, which will provide you with the latest Necrom chapter.
No matter what version you pre-purchase, you'll receive these items. While some will be unlocked at launch, everyone will receive this unique
Tout
mount
gratuit jusqu'au 31
immediately.
janvier. Ah!
For a limited time, if you
D'accord, bah
pre-purchase
allez-y, alors.
Necrom, you'll also receive this matching pet to go along with the mount that just
Ah, dans le
mentioned.
Game Pass. Ah.
Coming with the deluxe
J'ai
edition
peur.
is this new Apocrypha theme.
Bon là c'est les bonus de précommande, etc. Vous connaissez un peu le délire, hein,
That's
maintenant
in
vous êtes joueur.
addition to other pre-purchase items that come with the deluxe upgrade and collection.
Separate from our pre-purchase offering, but just as cool, is the Hermaeus Mora collector's statue that's available for pre-order at the Bethesda Gear Store. Be sure and secure yours along with some awesome ESO merch, because right now, for a limited time, we have a flash sale running.
Ah, c'est la pub, hein. Dis donc.
Any edition of Necrom also unlocks the new Arcanist class at launch.
L'Arcaniste,
And
c'est
we
vrai.
know you've been eagerly awaiting more information on that, so let's check it out now.
C'est vrai qu'il manquait l'info sur la classe.
We've waited long enough, Rich. It's Arcanist time. Spill some details.
Where do you want to start? You know, this has easily been the #1 most requested feature from players since the Necromancer back in 2019 with Elsewhere.
Well, I mean, why don't we give the players a little bit of the backstory and inspiration behind the Arcanist?
The Arcanist is a new way to play and experience ESO. It's the 7th playable class and channels the power of Apocrypha to create ancient runes of power.
Oh, c'est dégueulasse.
This weird knowledge lets them do some truly fantastic things. Destroying their enemies with runic magic, summoning tentacles from the abyss, healing their allies, and some even protecting themselves from the worst the Daedric Plains have to offer.
Of course, what everyone really wants to know is, how do you play the Arcanist? And we've got just the person to tell us.
Par contre, t'es Doctor Strange,
With the
quoi.
Arcanist, we wanted to keep the basic form of the class familiar to everyone, so there's something for all play styles, while letting us be more creative with the abilities themselves. We started off with 3 skill lines: Herald of the Tome, Apocryphal Soldier, and Curative Rune Forms. Each line focuses on a different aspect of the game: offense, defense, and support. The challenge we embraced was making these abilities feel unique compared to previous classes, but not so systematically different that
Ah, cette
veteran
classe, elle a
players
l'air trop
feel out
cool.
of place. I know several of the abilities will leave you awestruck. 2 of my favorite new abilities are Apocryphal Gate and Abyssal Impact. Apocryphal Gate lets you open a pair of temporary portals that you can jump between for extra in-fight mobility.
Non, mais t'es Doctor
or use
Strange.
these portals for creative
Non, mais
exploration.
je suis sérieux, là.
Abyssal Impact is a bit more direct. It has you infuse your arm with unstable magic, transforming it into a tentacular weapon as you thrust forward, damaging and debilitating your foes. I'm also super excited to share that we're doing something very different for the Arcanist, implementing a combo point system. In this system, certain abilities will build points, while others will spend them, giving them an extra bit of oomph by enhancing or augmenting the ability. We're aiming for this to be something that all players can easily get a handle on, so no one should worry that this class will be too technical to play. I can't let too much out of the bag yet though, so the rest will have to be a secret for now. We were initially coming up with the Arcanist, we had a ton of ideas and inspiration coming from all sorts of places. Movies, comics,
Oui.
classic literature,
Ouais, Doctor
and both
Strange, tu
retro
peux le
and
dire,
modern
hein,
games.
tu peux le dire.
There was even a handful of anime references. And while we had a lot of great ideas, there was one that led us to a major breakthrough and helped bind everything together: the Black Books of Hermaeus Mora. Now, while this gave us a solid feel for how the abilities should look and sound, you won't necessarily be wielding one of the Black Books. Instead, you'll summon your own tome, in which you've inscribed numerous bits of ancient knowledge that you've gleaned from the Prince of Fate. Think of it like your own cookbook you glance at every so often to spice up your spells. This won't be the only taste of the Arcanist you'll get, though. You'll also come across foes and maybe a friend who will wield the same deep magics that you'll learn. There may even be some unforeseen enemies that have tomes worth of forbidden arcane power to throw at you. This is just the first page of the story of this new class. We've had a ton of fun making it, and we've got plenty more to show you as time goes on. I can't wait for you all to experience adventuring Tamriel and the realms beyond, alongside or as an Arcanist.
Okay, Rich, now let's
Tiens,
talk
hein.
about some new features and systems. Start with, any chance there's going to be some new companions?
Yes, in fact, we've got 2 new companions coming to ESO with this Necrom chapter. And for those that don't know who or what companions are. They're your permanent adventuring buddies. Someone that's at your beck and call whenever you want to help you explore Tamriel. And the feedback from players since the inception back in 2021 has been overwhelmingly positive. And we've been looking to expand and evolve it in new ways.
So tell us about the 2 new companions we're going to see.
The first companion is called Sharp as Night, and he is an Argonian warden who is a bit of a mercenary and an enigma. He originated from Blackmarsh, but his past is lost to him, and he spent a lot of time trying to figure out who he is to no avail. He is a lot more reserved than our other companions, as he's lived a tough life, and he really isn't overly chatty, and you're going to have to prove yourself to him. And then there is Azander. Azander is a Redguard male and a little bit of a crazy fatherly figure professor. Think Willy Wonka meets Dumbledore, and he's got this really singular focus on the pursuit of knowledge.
And so,
franchement, je crois que c'est le rouge-garde le plus soin que j'ai vu de ma vie. Il est soin. Il a une barbiche.
He's an arcanist himself, so you'll be able to dig into a bit on that side of his story as well.
Some amazing stuff, and that's not all we've got cooking. Like every chapter, we offer loads of side quests, a new trial, there's world events, public dungeons, delves, and more. Roughly how much content do you think we're talking here, Rich?
Players can expect around 30 hours of content just from the main storyline, in addition to all the side content and everything you just mentioned.
Always
c'est un vrai nouveau jeu, les gars.
Pas comme chaque chapitre, d'ailleurs.
We really have, and players won't have to wait too long to begin their Shadow over Morrowind adventure. Players will be able to begin their adventures this March with our first DLC.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out.
C'est normal, t'es le patron.
Before we wrap things up, let's talk about some changes that you're planning to the ESO calendar.
Absolutely. So ESO is a living, breathing world that is constantly evolving. As a team, we're always evaluating where we are, what the game needs, and the community sentiment around how well we're doing. And over the years, we have made many changes based on these evaluations. But one of the fundamental pillars that hasn't changed has always been to create as much story content as we possibly can to try to keep up with our players and their insatiable desire for new stories and adventures. And this constant drive is one of the reasons why ESO has become one of the best games on the market today. There's so much to do, so many stories and locations to experience, tons of systems and various activities to participate in solo or with friends.
C'est vrai que le jeu, par contre, est gargantuesque. Aujourd'hui, c'est un fait.
We want to continue on creating these new adventures while also addressing quality of life feedback and bugs that have emerged over time. In other words, we want to focus on polish and iterate more on cool ideas, be it stories or systems, with the overall goal of making each release as solid as it can be. The first half of the year isn't really going to change much. We've been hard at work on a lot of this stuff for a very long time. We're still doing a dungeon DLC with 2 new dungeons and a prologue quest to kick off this new arc. The chapter is releasing in June with all the goodies you love and expect. Where things are changing this year are fall and winter.
That's great news for players. Don't stop. Keep going.
Late summer, our focus is going to be on bugs and quality of life additions.
Ok, donc ça je pense que parce qu'il y a pas mal de plaintes.
Or an all-in-one attunable set crafting station as examples. There won't be any dungeons in this update because for update 40, which comes towards the end of the year, the team is working on something really epic, something pretty special that they just need more time on.
I mean, come on, Rich, we got to give them more than that.
Okay, fine. How does an endless dungeon with a buddy sound?
Oh, sounds good.
We'll have a lot more info on this later in this year, but I'm insanely excited.
What? Sounds very cool. Well, Rich, I want to thank you for all the details surrounding Necrom and the Shadow over Morrowind adventure today. I know I'm excited to play, and I sure hope everyone watching is as well.
We are just as excited. But before I go, I wanted to personally thank the entire team for all of their incredible work. It's truly an honor to be able to represent them here today. Also, on behalf of the entire ZOS team around the globe, I'd like to thank you all for your continued support. You've helped make ESO and its amazing community what it is today.
C'est beau.
All right, let's throw it back to Jess and Gina to fill everyone in on in-game events, talk guilds, and more.
C'est beau.
So it's obviously no secret that there's always something to do in ESO. In addition to all this content, we offer a wide variety of in-game events catering to all different play styles, from PvP to overland, seasonal festivities, and more. In addition to our quarterly content updates, this year we'll be having 11 in-game events, plus the themed monthly PvP Battleground weekends.
Okay.
In fact, our first in-game event for the year, the season
l'extension, par contre, c'est un moyen qui coûte 60 balles. Au bout d'un moment.
And who better to enjoy all these events with than friends? ESO is great solo, but even better with friends, or a whole guild of friends. Whether you're into PvP, 12-player trials, crafting, questing, or even fishing and house decorating,
moi j'aime bien cuisiner.
There's a guild or 5 for everyone and every playstyle. You can find your first or next guild via the in-game guild finder. If you're a current player and have a guild who is looking to welcome new adventurers, let us know about it on Twitter. Tag us at TessOnline.
And speaking of coming together, we're extremely excited to let everyone know that we'll be hosting an in-person event this spring to celebrate all things ESO and the Shadow over Morrowind adventure. We'll share details on our website and social channels very soon. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about the first DLC in the Shadow over Morrowind adventure, we'll be previewing the DLC and Update 37 live on Twitch this Friday. So be sure to tune in.
Plus tout à l'heure.
That was a packed show. Lots of change.
That was a packed show.
A quick reminder that ESO Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now.
Donc le 5 pour PC et Mac et le 20 sur Series One, PC, PS5 et PS4.
ESO Necrom launches this June. And
Voilà.
We're just getting started. Stay tuned in the months leading up to launch for even more info. Thanks for spending your time with us. We'll see you in Tamriel.
Et bien voilà pour cette petite prise de parole de la part de Bethesda pour The Elder Scrolls Online. Et c'est donc ici que nous allons nous quitter les copains. Voilà en tout cas par rapport à tout ça. J'espère que ce gros event Xbox X Bethesda vous a plu, vous a intéressé, vous a interpellé, j'ai envie de vous dire. Vous avez passé un bon moment. Je pense qu'il y en a parmi vous qui vont peut-être relancer Tezo. Il y a des chances. D'ailleurs, j'ai pas mis fin au précédent sondage. Je pense qu'il y a des gens parmi vous qui vont relancer un peu du RedFall. Du RedFall, du Tezo. Je dis ça par rapport au sondage que je viens de supprimer. Ça n'a aucun sens. Donc voilà, une petite vidéo récap demain. Je ne pense pas que j'aurai le temps. Et après, en termes de récap, le problème, c'est que je vais dire juste les dates de sortie et puis c'est tout, quoi. Bon, voilà. Et tu kiffes toi, Momo, Tezo? En fait, moi, je suis très 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 fan d'Elder Scrolls au global. Et Tezo, j'avais passé un petit moment quand même, quelques heures dessus, solo et aussi avec des potes. Et en fait, j'avais complètement décroché, En fait, j'ai plus le temps de jouer à des MMORPG. C'est super triste ou peut-être cliché ce que je dis. J'ai plus le temps de jouer à des MMO. Du coup, ça fout le seum. Mais et je me souviens par contre que la dernière fois que je jouais à Tezo, c'était pour Greymore. J'ai fait le test pour Jeux Vidéo Magazine, mais c'était sur le magazine papier. Donc voilà. Mais c'est vrai que j'avais décroché. Et c'est aussi que c'est un investissement que je peux pas donner, que je peux pas mettre dans un jeu. En fait, c'est vraiment beaucoup. Moi, quand je fais un jeu, je vais m'investir à fond. Et là, franchement, ça impliquait que je joue tous les jours. Et des fois, j'ai pas envie de jouer à Elder Scrolls Online une journée, par exemple, tu vois. Donc voilà. Donc ouais, ça c'est chronophage. Et du coup, j'ai arrêté. Maintenant, après, rien n'empêche que je fasse le test. Quoique au mois de juin, ça va être compliqué en termes de timing. Mais bon, rien n'empêche que je vois pour qu'on fasse le test pour le DLC. Parce que oui, à la base, moi, Tezo, j'aime beaucoup. Alors, le début, c'était super chaud quand même, mine de rien. C'était vraiment pas de la tarte en termes de suivi et en termes de propositions. Économiquement, c'était pas du tout la teuf, vraiment pas. Et là, autant aujourd'hui, bon... Je vois qu'il y a quand même beaucoup de contenu. Ça commençait déjà un peu à s'améliorer quand même au fur et à mesure des chapitres. Mais là, on est quand même reparti sur quelque chose de cool. Donc, ma foi, voilà. Je pense que ça peut être une bonne expérience pour ceux qui aiment bien Elder Scrolls. Les amis, je vais vous abandonner. Je vais vous laisser. Je vous remercie infiniment. Vous avez été super présents aujourd'hui, vraiment, sur la chaîne de la vidéo de ce midi. Jusqu'à ce soir, vous avez été super présents pour la preview de Hogwarts Legacy. D'ailleurs, par pure curiosité, est-ce que je regarde où est-ce qu'elle en est? Allez, c'est le kiff de la fin. C'est le kiff de fin. On va regarder où est-ce qu'elle en est. Punaise, les gars, elle a 44 000 vues, c'est un truc de ouf. Le truc est sorti il y a Non mais c'est un truc de fou, quoi. Je savais qu'elle allait marcher, cette vidéo, mais je m'attendais pas du tout à ce point-là, quoi. Je suis très sérieux quand je dis ça. Le truc va arriver à 50 000 vues en moins de 24 heures. C'est complètement indécent, quoi. Bref, en tout cas, merci infiniment pour votre présence aujourd'hui, pour votre soutien, pour votre patience. Et je vous retrouve demain. Je vous conseille un truc. Je vous conseille un truc pour ceux qui sont là, qui sont restés là. Surveillez la chaîne demain. Aussi. Parce qu'il va y avoir des choses très intéressantes. Suivez mon regard. Voilà. Je dis juste, demain, croyez pas que là, c'est bon, Hogwarts, il a sorti la preview, c'est fini. Déjà, non seulement, on reparlera d'Hogwarts pour des choses très cool. Peut-être pas demain. Plus tard. Je me garde des trucs sous le plancher. Mais, demain, soyez là. Je vous le dis, soyez là. Soyez présents. Voilà. Je vous souhaite de passer une excellente soirée. Merci beaucoup d'avoir suivi Jeux Vidéo Magazine. Et puis, je vous fais à très vite. Je vous fais des gros bisous. Et puis, je vous dis à très vite sur la chaîne. N'hésitez pas, il y a plein d'autres vidéos qui vous attendent sur cette chaîne YouTube. À très vite. Gros bisous. Et c'est ciao.